Welcome. This is going to be the first episode of my MLS preseason review. Hopefully I get all these videos out before the season starts. I'm going to be starting today with Inter Miami, and as I go on, it's going to be an episode per every team. Hopefully before their game on opening week of MLS, we're going to go through their transfers, my predictions for the first game, as well as how I think they're going to do this season. We have a lot of stuff to go through, and MLS is starting in approximately 6 hours from now. Don't judge me for starting this late. Let's just get straight to it. Inter Miami, the first game of their season, February 21st, 8 p.m. Eastern Time versus Real Salt Lake. Inter Miami are coming off a pretty shaky season. Honestly, shaky is a nice way to put it. They were really bad. Their record for 2023 was 9 wins, 7 draws, and 18 losses. That cumulative record brought them to 14th place in the Eastern Conference. Not that good. Head coach Tata Martino, no surprise there. I think he's going to be here for a while. Won the Cup with Atlanta. Made some massive signings, took them to a place in which I don't think we ever would have seen an inaugural team go, in their first season, killing it, in the second season, getting the cup. Atlanta did a lot of great things under Martino, and I expect him to do the same with Miami. We can't really judge him on the past. No offense to Miami, but he had a pretty dire squad. The first match of their season, February 21st, 8 p.m. Eastern Time versus Real Salt Lake. Miami have had a decent offseason, some acquisitions, some key ones would be Julian Gressel, Luis Suarez, obviously. They have a player, Federico Redondo, who still isn't confirmed yet, but it looks like every single thing is pointing to him coming in the near future. Ascona from Las Vegas Lights. But to touch on Julian Gressel, I think it's a great squad player to have. He came off the bench in almost every playoff match for Columbus, and I think he's solid to have off the bench. I see his role being exactly the same here at Inter Miami. Luis Suarez, we don't need to speak much on him. We know what he brings. He's going to play. If he's fit, he's going to play, and if he's not, he brings something to the locker room, I guess. But again, big question about his fitness, him saying that he needs injections in his knees, whatever. Federico Redondo, pretty good player, under 22 initiative player. That's the contract he's going to be on. Of course, it still isn't set in stone. He's not technically a player yet, but everything's pointing at him coming to Inter Miami. Some big offseason departures that should be talked about are Gregory, if that's how you say it, Gregory. Yeah, he was a pretty good CDM every time I watched him. In my opinion, I really liked him for Inter Miami. He didn't play a lot last season. I know he was suffering with some injuries, but it looks like they're shifting in another direction. It's interesting to see what they're doing, getting rid of him, but I guess that's a sign of just bringing in players who they think are better than him. Kamal Miller left, going to Portland Timbers. Kamal Miller, just a decent center back. He's been around the league, and it's not surprising to see him stay in the MLS. Another marquee departure is Josef Martinez. He's going to Montreal, and Martinez really struggled at Inter Miami. Obviously, there's Leonardo Campana, who is younger and quite frankly probably better than Martinez. Martinez seems to be like he wants to be that guy in a team, and he definitely wasn't that guy in a team that has Messi. But in a team like Montreal, he's definitely going to be their marquee player. He's going to get a lot of deliveries. He's going to get a lot of opportunities, and I think he's going to do pretty well over there. Another one, Christopher McVeigh going to DC, Stefanelli going back to Hungary, and Victor Ulloa. I feel like he's been around the block, and it looks like his contract expired and he's retired. So, yeah. The first match is tonight, February 21st, 8 p.m. Eastern Time versus Real Salt Lake. It looks like it's going to be an interesting game. I don't know, watching their preseason, Inter Miami did not look that strong, but then again, they didn't really play their starting 11 that I think they would be playing most throughout this season. Real Salt Lake seems like a tough team. They just have a lot of grit. They look like they can defend, and I am quite interested to see how this goes because it is the first game of the season. My predicted lineup for this game is going to be a 4-3-3. It's a formation they've played with throughout basically the entirety of last season, and I just don't see it changing for the 2024 season. In goalkeeper, they're going to have Callender. In the defense, Yedlin, Aviles, Christoph, and Jordi Alba. Midfield, Busquets, David Ruiz, and Robert Taylor. And as forwards, Kremashki, Suarez, and Messi. This is my predicted lineup. Everything's subject to change. I have no clue. This is just my prediction. They all seem fit. I think they can all play. My prediction for tonight is going to be 1-1. I think both teams, it's the beginning of the MLS season. After watching CONCACAF Champions League and seeing Houston and St. Louis play, two pretty good teams in the West, it looked like they were both a little rusty. I see this being the exact same way for this game. Some players to note that I think would give Miami a tough time. Justin Glad is going to have to be the marquee player for Real Salt Lake every single time. we're going to see Justin Glad linking up a lot with Brian Oviedo, the left back. Oviedo's a solid player. The Costa Rican, he's been in this league for a bit now, and he's just solid as a left back. Cannot talk about Real Salt Lake without talking about Diego Luna, the 20-year-old American, just insane. I feel like he looks like he's 32, but he's 20, so don't be fooled. But he plays like a 32-year-old. So, like, this guy is an absolute baller, quick, can dribble, aggressive. Anything you want in a left winger, you got in Diego Luna. Additionally, they have Ojeda partnering up with Luna in the midfield, and the most important part, I think, of this Real Salt Lake team is if they're going to be able to get the goals. And if they're going to be able to get the goals, it's going to be through Christian Arango. Arango has already proved he can do it with LAFC, coming from Liga MX. I still, to this day, do not know why LA let go of Christian Arango, but here he is, Real Salt Lake, and he last season showed he's not going to stop scoring goals, so I can see more of that this season. And as I said, my prediction is 1-1. I can see him grabbing that goal. Can't not talk about Anderson Julio, Ecuadorian, 27-year-old, baller, quick, dribbler. He does his thing. And that wraps up the Inter Miami preview of the MLS 2024 season. I did talk a lot about the Real Salt Lake game. There will be more later on Inter Miami, as I am on a time crunch. They do play in 6 hours, and I really wanted to get this video out. But if you did watch this video, come back after the game, laugh at my predictions if I'm wrong, please, I beg of you, and let me know what you think. Did I get something really off the mark? Did I say something that you agree with? And yeah, man, there's going to be a lot more to come in this MLS season. I'm excited. I love this league, and hopefully y'all stick around. Peace.